Dear students, I am Priyanka Dikshit, working as Assistant Professor at School of Pharmacy, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. Today I am going to present on the topic radioactivity. Radioactivity, the nuclei of naturally occurring heavy elements like uranium, thorium, radium, etc., are unstable and they keep on emitting spontaneously invisible rays or radiations such as alpha, beta, and gamma rays to give stable elements. These heavy elements are known as radioactive elements, and the property of emitting these rays, that is alpha, beta, and gamma rays, is called as radioactivity. So we can say that radioactive substances are having a common property of emitting rays or particles which are affecting the photographic plates even when they are protected from visible direct light and bring about discharge of electrified bodies. About 40 radioactive elements are known which are arranged into families such as uranium series, thorium series, and actinium series. These elements are termed as radioactive because they are unstable and they undergo spontaneous decomposition accompanied by emission of radiations or rays. The emission of radiations by radioactive substances is not influenced by temperature, pressure, concentration, or catalyst. Alpha particles are larger and heavier in size than beta particles. Alpha particles cause luminescence on striking a zinc sulfide screen. Alpha radiation is usually emitted only from elements having atomic number greater than 82. Isotopes emitting alpha particles will decay to element having mass number of 4 less and atomic number of 2 less than the original isotopes. Isotopes emitting this type of radiation do not find any use in biological applications because these particles cannot penetrate tissues. Beta rays. Beta rays are electrically positive particles called as positrons. They are also known as electrically negative particles called as negatrons. They are having greater penetrating power than the alpha rays and are having negligible mass. They are accompanied by gamma radiation. They are having the less ionization power than alpha particles and can even pass through the aluminum foil. The emission of beta particles do not alter the atomic mass but change the atomic number. They are converted into element of next higher atomic number. Example, 6C14 is converted into 7N14 by emitting the beta particle, that is carbon is converted into nitrogen by the emission of beta particles. Negatrons emitted by unstable nuclei in which neutron-proton ratio exceeds the stability limit. They undergo a deflection positive to that of alpha particles in field and so possess a negative charge. Beta radiations are fast-moving electrons. The velocities of beta particles approaches to that of light, that is an average value of being 2 into 10 centimeter per second. Beta particles are emitted by unstable nuclei having excess of protons. Gamma rays. Gamma rays are having more penetrating power than the alpha and beta rays. They are having the character of X-rays. They are not affected by the magnetic force. They are having the speed of light. They have no mass or charge. They are produced during disintegration of radioactive substances along with beta radiation and during nuclear fission reaction. They have poor ionizing power as they are uncharged. They cannot interact with the molecules and atoms in the specific media. They can produce ions and free radicals by dislodging electrons from orbitals. They are having penetrating power depending upon the atomic weight of the absorber and the wavelength of the radiation. Nuclides having the same number of protons but different number of neutrons are termed as isotopes. Isotopes differ in nuclear masses, atomic weight, and in nuclear properties. They undergo nuclear changes or rearrangements that cause emission of radioactive radiations. Molecules undergo chemical reactions known as nuclear reactions. The original nuclei is called as the parent and the product is called as the daughter nuclide. The phenomena of nuclear changes is termed as disintegration or radioactive decay. The naturally occurring nuclides are having favorable ratio of protons and neutrons in most elements. Any deviation from this natural ratio, that is increase or decrease in the number of neutrons, alters the atomic number and the stability of the nucleus. Thus, the stable ratio for potassium is 1:1:115. If one or more neutron is added to the nucleus, this ratio is disturbed and the nucleus becomes unstable. Similarly, any addition or removal of a neutron from the nucleus of iodine causes instability. Most isotopes of elements with Z number 83 or less are stable and are described as stable isotopes. However, some naturally occurring nuclides with Z number less than 83 are unstable. All the nuclides with Z number above 83, whether naturally occurring or artificially prepared, are unstable. Units of radioactivity, Curie. Curie is the unit of radioactivity which is symbolized as C, and it may be defined as the quantity of any radioactive substance which undergoes the same number of disintegrations in unit time as of 1 gram of radium and is equal to 3.7 into 10 to the power 10 disintegrations per second. The subunits have been termed as millicurie, abbreviated as small mc, which is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 3 of Curie is equal to 3.7 into 10 to the power 7 disintegrations per second, and microcurie, that is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 is equal to 3.7 into 10 to the power minus 4 disintegrations per second. Another unit of radioactivity is Roentgen, which is symbolized by capital R, and it is the unit of exposure. 1 Roentgen is equal to 2.58 into 10 to the power minus 4 coulomb per kg. Another unit of radioactivity is rad. It is the unit of absorbed dose. 1 rad is equal to 10 to the power minus 2 joule per kg. The energy absorption equivalent of 1 Roentgen in air has been 0.87 rad, and for water it has been 0.97 rad. For tissue, the Roentgen and rad have been regarded to be numerically equivalent. Rem. It refers to the unit of dose equivalent. The dose in Rem has been equal to the dose in rats multiplied by quality factor and the distribution factor. Exposure rate constant. It refers to the dose rate in Roentgens per hour at 1 meter distance from 1 curie. It is about 1/10 of the dose at a distance of 1 foot from 1 curie. RBE. Another unit of radioactivity is RBE. Since the effect of given radiation on biological system depends upon the type of radiation, a unit known as relative biological effectiveness or RBE has been introduced. This expresses the relative effects of radiation such as alpha, beta and gamma on the biological system. Pharmaceutical dosage forms may be described in terms of rad units. Half-life of radioactive element. The decay of individual atoms of a radioactive substance have been found to be irregular. If a certain amount of radionuclide is taken and the number of disintegrations per second is measured, it is found that after certain time, the half of the original atoms would have got disintegrated and only half of the original active atoms would be left behind. The number of disintegrations per second will also now be half of the original value. The decay time of radionuclide to its half has been constant irrespective of the quantity present. This time is termed as half-life of the radionuclide, and it is denoted by the formula half-life T half is equal to 0.693 upon lambda, where lambda is disintegration constant in unit of per second. Half-lives of various radionuclides vary considerably. Example, polonium-212 has half-life of 3 into 10 to the power minus seconds. Iodine-131 has half-life of 8 days, etc. The T-half of a nuclide will decide its utility in medicine. Too short half-life will be inconvenient for setting up satisfactory experiments, whereas too long T-half is an absolute property of nuclide and is unaffected by chemical or biological conditions. Production of radioisotopes. One method for the production of radioisotopes is via reactor irradiation. A reactor is having an arrangement of fissionable material in a moderator which slows down the fast neutrons to thermal energies. The fissionable material like uranium is taken in the form of rods which are arranged in a lattice pattern, and hence the neutron flux is maximum in the center where there is most uranium. A heavy water moderated reactor using enriched uranium is having the maximum flux of neutrons. Cyclotron irradiation. While the reactors are able to produce a flux of neutrons and gamma rays, accelerating machines can use many other types of bombarding particles which have been charged particles. They have to be accelerated to high velocities as to overcome the repulsive forces of the nucleus. The beam of energetic particles has been small and targets for irradiations have to be put in these beams. The number of samples that can be irradiated at a time has been limited and the yields have been low. But on the other hand, many isotopes which otherwise cannot be produced in the reactor could be produced in a cyclotron. Detection and measurement of radioactivity. Measurement of radiations or radioactivity of alpha, beta and gamma particles. All radioactivity are based on the interaction of the charged particles because the interaction results in the production of ions as well as release of energy. Many techniques involving detection and counting of individual particles or photons are available. Some of these techniques depends upon the collection of ions, whereas other techniques depends upon the collection of photons. The radioactivity of the radioactive substance is detected and measured by instruments like Geiger-Müller counter, Wilson cloud chamber, scintillation counters, and dosimeters. Detectors. Detectors are used to detect and record the number of particles emitted in various experiments that are involved in the study of nuclear radiation, disintegration, and transmutation. Types of detectors. Gas-filled detectors consist of a volume of gas between two electrodes. In scintillation detectors, the interaction of ionizing radiation produces UV or visible light. Semiconductor detectors are especially pure crystals of silicon, germanium, or other materials to which small amounts of impure atoms have been added so that they can act as diodes. Types of detectors. Detectors can be classified as per the information provided by them. For example, counters indicate the number of interactions occurring in a detector, whereas spectrophotometers yield information about the energy distribution of the incident radiation. On the other hand, dosimeters indicate the net amount of energy deposited in the detector via multiple interactions. Principles for the detection of radiation. Sensing element causes the conversion of radiation energy into electrical energy. Indicating element like scalar meter or a recorder, or it may pass through an intermediate electronic circuits for the purpose of amplification and analysis. Sensing element based on the collection of ions, it can be of following types: ionizing chambers and electroscopes, proportional counters, and Geiger-Müller counters. Not depending upon the ion collection, it may be divided into following types: scintillation counters, photographic methods, cloud chambers, which was developed by Wilson. Detection utilizing ion collection or ionization. It includes gas-filled detectors, ionization chambers, proportional counters, and Geiger-Müller counters. Detection using photon collection. It includes scintillation counters and autoradiography. Gas-filled detectors. Principles of gas-filled detectors. The operation of a gas-filled detector is based upon the ionization of gas molecules by radiation, followed by the collection of the ion pairs as charge or current with the application of a voltage between two electrodes. The measured charge or current is proportional to the applied voltage, and the amount and energy of radiation depends on the type and pressure of the gas. Ionization chamber. Principle of ionization chamber. Ionizing radiation from the source such as gamma or X-rays, electrons creates an ionization of the gaseous atoms. A voltage is applied between the electrodes. Negative charges are attracted by the anode, whereas positive charges are attracted by the cathode. The applied voltage or polarization voltage is high enough to allow the complete collection of positive and negative ions. An electrical current called as ionization current is then established, which is proportional to the activity of the radioactive source. The quotient of a measured ionization current and the standard sample activity is known as calibration coefficient. So we can say that ionization chamber consists of chambers filled with gas and fitted with two electrodes kept at different electrical potentials, and a measuring device to indicate the flow of electric current. Radiation bringing about ionization of gas molecules or ions, which is causing emission of electrons that in turn reveals the changes in the electrical current. Construction and working of ionization chamber. An ionization chamber consists of a chamber filled with a gas such as argon or helium and is fitted with two electrodes kept at different electrical potential 50 to 100 volts. It is consisting of a measuring device to indicate the flow of electric current. It is consisting of a radiation source which is bringing about the ionization of gaseous molecules via application of electrical field. It is causing the emission of electrons that is revealed by changes in the electrical current. This is used, or ionization chambers are used for the detection of X-rays, beta particles, and gamma rays. Proportional counters. The proportional counters are also known as the proportional detector, and it is an electrical device that detects various types of ionizing radiations. The voltage of the detector is adjusted so that the conditions correspond to the proportional region. Principle of proportional counters. These are known as modified ionization chambers in which an applied potential ionization of causes in which an applied potential causes ionization of primary electrons that causes thunderous production of more free electrons which get carried to the anode. As for each primary electrons get liberated, the current pulse through electrical circuit is greatly amplified, and the voltage range over which the gas amplification or ionization occurs is known as the proportional region, and the counters working in this region are known as proportional counters. Construction. Proportional counters consist of cylindrical metallic tube filled with a mixture of argon and methane gases. Methane gas is 10%, whereas argon gas is present at 90%. The ratio of argon and methane gas is 9:1, and it is present at 1 atmospheric pressure. A fine metallic wire of tungsten of diameter 0.2 mm is acting as an anode. The wire is connected to the pulse amplifier or electron counting device, whereas the metallic tube is acting as a cathode. Geiger-Müller counters. Geiger-Müller counter is a device which is used for the detection and measurement of all types of radiation such as alpha, beta, and gamma radiation. Basically, it is consisting of a pair of electrons surrounded by a gas. The electrodes are having a high voltage across them. The gas used is usually helium or argon. When radiation enters the tube, it can ionize the gas. The ions and electrons are further attracted to the electrodes and the electric current is produced. A scaler counts the correct current pulses and one obtains a count whenever radiation ionizes the gas. The apparatus consists of two parts, the tube and the counter positive power supply. The Geiger-Müller tube is usually cylindrical with a wire down the center. The counter positive power supply have voltage control and the timer options. A high voltage is established across the cylinder and the wire as shown on the page of the figure. Construction of Geiger-Müller counter. Geiger-Müller counter possesses a cylindrical cathode which is usually 1 to 2 cm in diameter, along the center of which is a wire anode. The gas is filled with the space is filled with a special gas mixture which gets readily ionized together with a small proportion of a quenching vapor. Quenching vapor are used in the Geiger-Müller counter for performing several functions, such as to prevent the spurious pulses that may get produced due to the positive ions reaching the cathode, to absorb the photons emitted by the excited atoms and molecules returning to their ground state. Both chlorine and bromine are generally employed as a quenching agents. The filling gas pressure has been much below the atmospheric pressure for avoiding the use of high operating voltages. The design and constructions have been found to depend upon the purpose for which Geiger-Müller counters are required to use. For counting radioactive solid sources, the end window type Geiger-Müller counter has been the most popular, where the window has been made of an aluminum alloy, mica, or maybe a thin glass bubble. In order to count the medium and high energy red beta particles, and for gamma counting, thin glass wall counters may be used. They have been normally of about 1 centimeter in diameter and having a glass wall of 20 to 40 mg per centimeter thickness, and the actual thickness depends upon the length of the counter. The tube has been coated on the inside with a graphite to form the cathode. Scintillation counter. Scintillation counter is an instrument for detecting and measuring radiation by using the excitation effect of the incident radiation on a scintillator material and for detecting the resultant light pulses. Scintillation counter consists of a scintillator which generates photons in response to the incident radiation, a sensitive photomultiplier tube which is converting the light to an electrical signal, and electronics to process this signal. A scintillator consists of a transparent crystal using usually a phosphor, plastic, or a organic liquid. When high-energy atomic radiations are incident on the surface coated with some fluorescent material, the flashes of lights are produced. The scintillations are detected with the help of a photomultiplier tube that give rise to an equivalent electric pulse. This is the construction of the scintillation counter. It consists of a cell, a photomultiplier tube, which is coupled with a phosphor or fluorescent material to convert scintillations into electrical pulses in amplifier and a scaler. For gamma radiations, as they are having the least penetrating power, the phosphor used has been a crystal of sodium iodide which gets activated with about 1% of thallium for increasing the degree of fluorescence. The gamma radiation passing through a small window enter the crystal where it gives rise a small flash of light. This is brought to the photomultiplier tube which in turn detects flash, amplifies and converts into an electrical impulses. This impulse may be recorded directly by means of a scaler. It should be remembered that in scintillation counters, the high voltage applied to the photomultiplier is associated with the amplifying system and not with the detector. Autoradiography. It is useful in detecting and determining gamma radiations in physiological studies of plants and animals. The techniques involves the administration of radioactive substance to an animal, and after sufficient time of lapse for localization, the tissue is removed and embedded in paraffin, then cut into thin section by microtome, and this section is kept in contact with photographic emulsion in a dark room. The radioactive atoms present in the cut section are emitting particles which is darkening the photographic emulsion. After sufficient time of exposure, the emulsion has been developed and fixed. Ordinary photographic films consisting of an emulsion of silver halide grains suspended in a gelatin matrix and supported with a glass or cellulose acetate film. Ionizing radiation sensitizes the silver halide grains which remain intact for indefinite period until they are developed. Examples of photographic emulsions are radiographic films and nuclear emulsions. They are most powerful in detecting and determining gamma radiations in physiological studies of plants and animals. Handling and storage of radioactive materials. Great care has to be taken in handling and storage of radioactive materials for protecting people and personnel who handle it from harmful radiations which the radioactive material emits. Certain precautions have to be taken while working with detectors, tracer experiments, radioassays, manufacturing or handling of radioactive materials. In order to have the protection from hazards of radiations, radioactive materials must be stored in an area not frequently visited by people. Shielding may be required. Thin glass or perspex containers usually provide sufficient shielding. In order to protect from the gamma radiations, lead shielding has to be used. The storage radiation must be regularly checked for the radioactivity. The working area should not get contaminated with radioactive materials. If radioactive liquid has to be handled, it must be carried in trays having absorbent tissue paper so that any spillage will get absorbed by the paper. Rubber gloves have to be used when working with radioactive liquids. Pipettes operated by mouth should never be employed. Before making use of glass apparatus, it must be ensured that they have been inactive. The waste radioactive material has to be stored till the activity becomes low before its disposal. The following precautions have to be kept in mind while handling and storage of radioactive substances. One should not touch radioactive emitter with hand, but it should be handled by means of forceps or suitable instruments. Smoking, eating, and drinking activities should not be done in the laboratory where radioactive materials are handled. Sufficient protective clothing or shielding have to be used while handling the materials. Radioactive materials have to be stored in a suitable containers, shielded by lead bricks, and preferably in a remote corner. Areas where radioactive materials have been stored or used should be regularly monitored, that is, should be tested for radioactivity regularly. Disposal of radioactive materials should be carried out with great care. Applications of radioactive isotopes. Radioisotopes finds use in medicine in four different ways. They are used as radiation source in therapy or therapeutics, radioactive tracers for diagnostic purposes, they are used in the research, and they are used in sterilization. In therapeutic use of radioisotopes, the radiations emitted cause destructive effects on existing cells and disallow the formation of new cells and tissues. Due to this reason, the radioisotope therapy have been applicable to those disease conditions in which extensive cellular metabolic malfunction exists. The selection of isotopes has been found to depend upon the type, energy, and the properties of the radiation required. When it finds use as a radioactive tracer, the chemical identity and the form of the nuclide have been the most important factors, as the tracer has to be isotopic with the element under examination. Radioactive tracers finds use in medicine mainly for diagnostic purposes. Now, radioisotopes in therapeutics. The therapeutically used radioisotopes have been found to depend mainly upon their ability to ionize atoms. The energy measurement involved in radiation and resulting in ionization may be expressed in millions of electron volts called MeV. The strength or the energy of alpha, beta, and gamma rays is expressed as MeV. All radiations bring about ionization of atoms in their paths. The radiation of short wavelength gamma rays are having the least penetrating power than long wavelength beta rays. Besides, the greater the MeV of the rays, the more destructive it becomes to the surrounding tissues. Radioisotopes may be internally used or may be externally used. If the radioisotopes are used externally or used as implants in sealed capsules in a tissue, the dose could be terminated by the removal of the sources. Whereas if they are given internally as unsealed source, the dose cannot be stopped by the removal of the source. The total dose in therapeutics may be calculated on the basis of the effective half-life of the isotope, concentration of the isotope, the type, and the energy of the radiation emitted. Gold, that is Au-198, finds use in the treatment of abdominal and pleural effusions associated with malignant tumors. It is given in the form of colloidal gold suspension. Au or gold also finds use in the treatment of carcinoma of uterus and urinary bladder,
Sodium phosphate, that is phosphate 32, finds use in anemia vera to decrease the rate of formation of erythrocytes leukemia. Cobalt-labeled cyanocobalamin find use in the diagnosis of pernicious anemia. Sodium iodide or iodine 131 preparation finds use in the treatment of thyroid disorders. Radioisotopes in diagnosis. Labeled cyanocobalamin finds use for measuring the glomerular filtration rate. Ferric citrate or Fe59 injection finds use for the diagnosis of hematological disorders. Colloidal gold or Au-198 injection has been used for diagnostically studying the blood circulation in the liver. Sodium iodide or iodine 131 injection finds use to diagnose the functioning of the thyroid gland. Iodinated human serum albumin injection, that is iodine 131, finds use to investigate the cardiovascular functions. Sodium iodohypurate, that is iodine 131 injection, finds the diagnostic use in the study of renal functions. Sodium rose bengal, that is iodine 131 injection, finds use as a diagnostic agent to test liver functions. The uptake of the labeled compound in the liver may be measured by the scintillation counter, which is set up over the liver. Research. Excellent biological and medicinal studies have been carried out with radioisotopes or radioactive isotopes as tracers. Modern knowledge of many biochemical processes have been the cause of such elaborate studies, that is carbon and hydrogen are most commonly used radionuclides for this purpose. Sterilization. Excellent use is being made of the radiation constantly available for some strong radiation source for sterilizing pharmaceuticals in their final packed containers and surgical instruments in hospitals. The radiation does not destroy and most or harm most pharmaceuticals. No heat or chemical get involved. Thermolabile substances such as vitamins, hormones, antibiotics, etc. get be safely sterilized. 27 Cobalt-60 or Cesium-137 may be used for sterilizing surgical instruments. It also finds use for sterilizing pharmaceuticals. However, there are some pharmaceuticals that are ionized due to the radiation and decompose. Great care should be taken in selecting this method of sterilization. ISOMD is a unit of Bhabha Atomic Research Center at Mumbai that is using this type of radiation sterilization. Applications of specific radioactive isotopes. Calcium-44 and calcium-45. These radioactive calciums have been used to study bone structure and in the treatment of carcinoma of bone. Carbon-14 labeled alkaloids of colchicum, opium, ergot, and glucosides of digitalis could be synthesized by making plants to utilize C14 in the synthesis of above products. Carbon-14 labeled compounds have been of importance in medicinal and pharmaceutical research, in, for example, in silicon fluids, EDTA, and a host of other. Strontium-90. It is a pure beta emitter and it is used for the radiotherapy of superficial carcinomas. Cobalt-60. Cobalt-60 are being used in the sterilization of heat labile medicinal substances and for the sterilization of food products. The study of stability of vitamin B12 in a multivitamin mixture has been done by using cobalt-60 as a labeling agent. The labeled vitamin has been prepared by microbial synthesis. Cobalt-60 also finds use for the sterilization of surgical materials and for the dressing by the gamma radiations. Calcium-47. It is used in the form of its chloride for the calcium absorption studies. Cyanocobalamin 57. It is used for the diagnosis of pernicious anemia. Cyanocobalamin 60. It is used to study the absorption and deposition of vitamin B12 in normal individuals. Gold 198. Gold 198 is used as a neoplastic suppressant and it is used in the estimation of reticuloendothelial activity. Next is iron 59. Iron 59 is used in research studies and for the study of the absorption and utilization of iron salts. Next is chromium 51. Chromium 51 is used to study red cell volume and survival time studies. Thank you.